God, I can't.
The reason that we're all a little disheveled right now, you should definitely go listen. I don't care where you're listening to or watching this, but you should definitely go over to Superhero Homies and listen to the episode there. Also, the Flash review that we did because, there's some very juicy material over there, and it is why we are all unnerved right now.
I can't even think right now. My brain is melting.
I mean, that's not that uncommon.
Yeah.
However, here we are. This was originally going to be Entertainment Involved. However, we have updated it. We've upgraded. And it's now Podcast Assembled. So here we are.
Here we are.
And, of course, right here, we are going to be covering Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. But before we get there, some introductions are in order. First time on Podcast Assembled, we have the Crochet Fairy. We have Kaye.
Hi.
Fuck that.
Also, right here from the Tavern Notice Board, you may not have heard from him in a minute because he ain't put out an episode. But welcome, Oz.
What's going on, guys? I've been a little under the whip. Really? You know what? Okay. I deserve that. No, I deserve that.
And then also, this is the video debut of this man's studio. I've been telling him for a while that I was going to get it on camera because, as you can see, no matter which camera angle you're looking at, it is gorgeous in here. He has got all the omnis, all the books. Welcome. Well, this is your place, so, whatever. But we have the homie Ace.
Man, thanks. Fuck you, Oz. Thanks for setting this up, Caleb. This is something special, man, that came together kind of last minute. So,
today.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Today. Thankfully we did the Hot Ones challenge, and so we kind of already knew the logistics of getting the camera angles and all that.
This was a lot smoother.
Yeah. It was like an hour of setup that I recorded some of that we have like lost archive footage somewhere. I'm Caleb from Entertainment Involved, by the way. So here I is. I'm also the reigning defending Superhero Homie Trivia Champion, but that is irrelevant.
Oh, okay.
He speaks fast, though.
He does.
That's true.
Yeah.
But what we're going to talk about here tonight, for the reading of the rules, I'm going to let the homie Ace take it away because he has done this about 700 times.
So the reading of the rules are as follows. The first portion of this episode will be spoiler-free. So if you have seen the trailers, that's about the extent of spoilers that will be in the spoiler-free section, which is basically none. Then there will be a noticeable pause in action there where we will then mosey on over to the spoiler-filled section, and you guys will have ample opportunity to either pause the episode and then continue once you've seen the movie, or if you don't care about spoilers, just follow us on into the spoiler-filled section.
Yeah, I think we can fill the gap. We can talk about what we got coming up.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll be good to go. So let's right off the rip here. I'll start with you. What's your just overall brief thoughts on the movie?
I thought that it was fine. It was a movie. This was definitely one of the movies of the year for me. It was a movie.
Did you say it was one of the movies of the year?
It was one of the movies of the year.
Is that are you hating on 2023's movie slate when you say that?
I'm just pointing out that this was a movie that came out this year.
Yeah. Okay. Oz, what about you?
I'm kind of in the same boat there. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. Just, I felt like the soul of Indiana Jones was not in this movie.
You kind of took my thoughts with that.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was definitely way better than Crystal Skull.
Oh, for sure.
But it didn't live up to the originals. So,
okay.
Yep.
Okay, what about you?
I liked it. I'm not going to have to resort to their costumes are nice.
The costumes were really nice. As a matter of fact, they I think they did a good job not like they just had Indy in his old stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't try to do something.
I do have something to say about that, but that'll be in the spoiler part.
Section.
Yeah.
I got to agree there. I'm much more along the lines of what you were thinking about this. I liked it. I thought it was better than Crystal Skull. And as soon as the credits rolled, the homie Dylan was actually in the theater with us. And as soon as the credits rolled, I leaned over to him and I said, "That was better than Temple of Doom." And he paused for a minute and he was like, "I think you're right." And I'm sticking with that. I think it's better than Temple of Doom. I think it is the third best indie movie. I'm not gonna put it up there with Raiders or Last Crusade because I think that's the cream of the crop. That's
Of course.
That's
I think you are high.
No, man. Go back and watch Temple. Did you? Watch You watched Temple of Doom and you thought it was better than this?
Yes.
Nah, man. I think I'm gonna pass on that. But you did not watch. You have never watched Crystal Skull.
No, not all the way through.
So
want to.
I do have to preface that, like, my expectations here were, like, I think when I invited each person on this, I was like, do you want to go watch a shitty Indiana Jones movie and hate it for 2 hours?
The funny part was, like, when you asked me, I was like, wait a minute, they made another Indiana Jones movie?
Yeah, I didn't even know that they were doing it.
Like, that was, like, literally, like, 3 days ago.
Yeah, we've been following this movie for years because James Mangold is the director, and he also made
Logan,
the Wolverine and Logan.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and he is making a Star Wars film, so it's going to be about the origins of the Force. So Kathleen Kennedy said she was very excited about it.
Oh,
Don't. Why did you have to go? You had my interest, and then you killed it right there. I hate you.
So I'll go back around the table here. Kaye, do you think that this is a fitting end for Indiana Jones, the way this movie ends, without giving away anything?
Yeah. I think that it's so much better than the ending that we had.
In Crystal Skull?
Yeah.
Well, Crystal Skull, you could tell they were trying to make Shia LaBeouf Indiana Jones rather than trying to wrap up Indy's story.
Well, I think that was the intention, though.
It was.
Yeah, so, like...
But it failed.
Yeah, it failed really bad. Yeah. It failed really bad.
Yeah. What about you, Oz? Same question.
I thought this ending was meh. Like, it wasn't even... I don't know. Like, I didn't get the... And again, the soul just wasn't there, man. Like, I didn't feel like... Honestly, I didn't feel like I was watching Indiana Jones.
So
I was just watching an old dude with a hat and a whip.
wow.
So follow-up question then. Would you rather it have just ended the way Last Crusade ends, where they ride off into the sunset?
For me, that's a yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll give that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
To be fair, we watched it 2 days ago, and I said that when they rode off at the end. I was like, see, why couldn't we just stuck with this? They literally rode off into the sunset.
That's kind of the thing, though. Like, Indiana Jones is like this, archaeologist cowboy, and like he doesn't need a, I'm gonna grow old ending. I want him just to ride off in the sunset and never exist again.
Oh, poor Indy.
All I'm saying, but like the legends of Indiana Jones still live on. This kind of killed the legends for me.
Okay, I don't know if I get that, but I can't explain why right now.
Okay.
Ace, what about you, man? You think this is a fitting end? I mean, you said you prefer Crusade, but
yeah, I definitely prefer The Last Crusade. That felt like a great bookend, and along the lines of what Oz was saying, yeah, for me, this just kind of felt like it felt soulless and manufactured, and it felt like they were trying to imitate what makes Indiana Jones such a great franchise without actually doing the things that makes it so great. Like, I didn't feel that Indy really had a whole lot of learning or growth. This was kind of, for me, they did the Hollywood trope with old relics where they try to deconstruct them, but in the way of deconstructing them, they lose what makes them so special in the first place.
I can see that. He does this, by the way. Welcome to the show. I can definitely see that. And maybe it does have to do with my expectations of the film, because they were
in the dirt.
They were in the dirt. and it's really funny how, like, it's like the opposite of when we went to see The Flash, where it's like my expectations were here, and the movie put them in the dirt, and here my expectations were in the dirt, and the movie dug them up and was like, well, they don't have to be down there. Because I was thinking it was going to be Crystal Skull 2, and it is not that, thankfully.
Thankfully, yeah.
I will say this, the trailers didn't do them any favors. I mean, I know you guys just found out about it.
Yeah, so I hadn't even seen the trailer. So.
But the first trailer they came out with, it had this weird, like, film grain kind of it was like they shot a modern movie and then like used a filter to make it look old.
Oh no!
And it did not do the movie any favors at all. But like that effect, they must have taken some feedback and lessened it, because I'd never noticed it when we were actually watching the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. The trailers were interesting, and you can tell that the trailers were put out there as a feeling out process.
Yeah.
To see what their reaction would be.
What do you guys think about this? Let's read the YouTube comments. All right, let's adjust some things. A lot has been said about the de-aging process for Harrison Ford. Ace, did you think that it was like jarring or? Like,
I didn't think it was jarring at all. Actually, I thought it was done really well. I mean, there are moments where they have a lot of light on Indy's face, and you can, if you're looking for it, you can tell it's a little uncanny valley-ish. But I think it was close enough. It was overall really good.
Oz, what you think?
I mean, I'll give it that. Like, like you said, Ace, like it would definitely give that moment. You can see, like, you're like, oh, obviously that's not Harrison Ford now. I will say, like, I guess because I've watched a bunch of movies with Harrison Ford as young Harrison Ford, hearing old Harrison Ford's voice come out of him was a little jarring at first, but then I just kind of got over it. Because I was like, how are they going to fix that?
Well, I just rewatched the old indie movies, and I was like, man, that does not sound like he did 30 years ago.
I think his young voice is so iconic to our generation.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Like, although I will say, like, in Force Awakens, he still sounded like Han Solo, but they could have done some work on that, or I mean, even then, that was, 8 years ago at this point? So,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Kaye, what did you think about the de-aged
I thought
Indiana?
it was, Ace got it right, it was Uncanny Valley. I mean, it wasn't bad. I've seen some bad ones, but it was Uncanny Valley.
On a scale of Bruce Willis in
Looper?
Oh, God, don't.
to the weird, to Luke Skywalker, right? In Boba Fett.
Yeah. Or Mando.
No, he looks better in Boba Fett.
He does.
Remember,
Oh, yeah, he does.
Because they did the original one in Mando, and it looked good.
Yeah.
But then that guy on YouTube put out a better one, and
yeah.
then Lucasfilm hired him. They were like, that was awesome. You should come work for us. And so then when you see him in Boba Fett, that's actually that dude's work.
Okay.
That's why he actually looks a little better. But I think that's like the top, right?
Yeah.
I think it's closer to that. Like,
I agree.
I think visually, it may have even been better. I mean, you could definitely tell there's times where, like, you never really see the young face in dim light. He's either completely in shadow or it's like somebody has a flashlight right here. Like, that's it. Or they also put a bag over his head a lot.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Like I didn't know that. Like, I mean, I guess Nazis are famous for that, but
I mean, and to be honest, like, I think a lot of Indiana Jones movies, he ends up with a bag on his head.
yeah, he does. Yeah,
So,
yeah, he's like, oh damn.
it's like, sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I thought visually, like, it was really good. You could definitely, if you're looking for it,
Yeah.
which we're critics and we are, but I definitely wasn't like bothered by it. It's like you guys said. The most jarring thing about it was the what Indiana Jones. We all know exactly what he sounded like at that age, and he doesn't hear.
Yeah. I think that, and maybe this is a smaller thing, speaking of like critiquing shit, but the physical stand-in for him, I thought did okay. But then this, again, also, I just recently rewatched the first three, and I'm like, man, he doesn't move like Indiana Jones.
And it's interesting because, like, the old, like, Harrison Ford does.
Yeah.
He moves like an 80-year-old Indiana
Right.
Jones because he is. But yeah, he moved just like Indy in this. And I think that's actually one of the major things with Crystal Skull for me, is in Crystal Skull, there's never a single moment where he feels like Indiana Jones to me. And in this movie, at least all the times that he's old Indy, it at least feels like that's who he is to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. In terms of just like the de-aged Indy, I think it was bold, and regardless, I think if you like it or not, you kind of have to at least applaud the boldness of trying something like this. And
I mean, and honestly, I was actually very surprised at how long that scene was.
oh yeah,
I was like, that was a good 15 to 20 minutes of the opening of that movie. And like I was like, oh, all right. So we've come a long way since Carrie Fisher at the end of Rogue One,
right?
Like,
Yeah. I just want to point out, since you brought it up, that they had the guy that played Tarkin. He had been dead for like 30 years, and his CG still looked better than Henry Cavill's in Justice League. And they had him alive on the set.
But he had a mustache though.
Yeah, right.
Mustache, yeah.
No, he didn't have a mustache in the movie, though.
Yeah, I know.
So this is, I think, the longest Indiana Jones movie, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that.
I think you're right. If it is, it's close.
Crystal Skull seemed like it was longer.
Yeah, Crystal Skull.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Like Crystal Skull, the twist is that it's your skull. Like that's how long you've been watching the film.
It just turned into a crystal.
You've just turned into
Who directed Crystal Skull?
George Lucas and Steven Spielberg.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
They
that's
did
why,
that?
that's why there's a South Park episode about that. Yeah, you know the scene. Yeah, that one.
Wow.
Feel free to look that up if you. It is NSFW as fuck. So, yeah, but the James Mangold did a better job than they did. Apparently, if without getting too far into it, if you listen to Steven Spielberg and like some of the producers tell it, apparently they had a really good script, and then George Lucas was like, "No, this is bullshit," and then like wrote his own script, and like that's what we got.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that.
Hey man,
I really didn't need that.
Just
that
rumor.
I don't care.
Yeah. Rumor became myth. Myth became legend. You know how it goes. Ace, what do you think about the pacing in this movie?
The pacing, along with several other things, had me have the genuine thought. I didn't mean this as a good thing or a bad thing when this thought came to mind, but man, this movie, pacing included, really makes me appreciate the Aquaman movie. I'm like, this is just it's the Aquaman movie. I feel like if you guys like Aquaman, you will love this, and the pacing is a big part of that. Like, whenever the movie feels like there's a lull, they're gonna throw some mindless action in there, and hopefully some of it sticks. Maybe not all of it will.
That is a fair point. Oh man,
I just want to point out that every Indiana Jones movie is exactly what you just described, except for Crystal Skull.
Maybe that's what was wrong with it.
Yeah.
The difference though is that, you go back to 1981 or 1984, that shit worked really well back then. And not only that, it was pretty innovative for its time. And not only that, but it evolved upon itself as time went on with this. The only thing that evolved was practical effects to CG. And when you do that, there's a lot that's lost in that by itself.
I can't agree with that aspect of it. Like, yes, there are a lot of chase scenes in the movie, but every Indiana Jones, to be fair, has a lot of chase scenes in it. We'll talk about the effects in a minute.
yeah.
Kaye, what did you think about the pacing of this movie? Were you bored?
No, I was never bored.
Kept you engaged the whole time?
Yeah. I was okay with it because I liked the running scenes.
There was a point where I was like, Ace is going to hate this because he hates chase scenes.
Yeah.
So many.
Yes,
Matter of fact, I think I pointed out how many chase scenes there were, like, within the first hour of the movie. I leaned over and was like, there's 3 chase scenes already. And he's like,
It's like, I don't need this pointed out to me.
Well, I mean, Last Crusade has like 5.
I'm sure. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, and also because of that, it should have been the last one.
It should have been, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I liked this movie, but I don't know. Like, me liking the movie isn't the same thing as I wish they made these two. Like, if I could delete both of them, like, if that was the choices, like, keep all 5, or I could just, like, the last 2 weren't made. I don't know which button I pressed there.
I do, but like,
I mean, well,
you know,
What were the options again?
like if it's like they made all 5, or like the first 3 are the only ones they ever made. Like if I lose this movie, can I delete Crystal Skull? Like, I don't know if I pressed that button or not. You know?
Oh, that button's getting.
oh yeah, like there's no sweat beam.
Yeah.
No, it's just
I got the
boing,
sweat.
boing, 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 boing.
I got the sweats. I definitely, if Crystal Skull is going to exist, I definitely want this movie to exist. I mean, because this is a much better ending. I mean,
I mean, I haven't seen Crystal Skull, but I can see where you're coming from that angle.
I mean, from that angle, yeah.
Hey Ace, the costumes are really good.
The only moment in Crystal Skull that I remember having anything that even remotely like seemed like pleasure was Cate Blanchett popped up on the screen, and I was like, "Hey, that's Cate Blanchett. I know her." That's it. That's the only slightly positive experience that I had watching that film. You know what, Ace? Just because, you know, I will come on your show and we can review it. I will sit through it with you, just so you can enjoy the majesty and the horridness that is.
I mean, you know what? That sounds more like a challenge, but yeah, challenge accepted.
It's awful.
It's really bad.
So this movie's really got 3 leads. So we'll talk about them, and then we'll talk about the score, and then we'll score it, and then we can meander on over to the spoiler section.
Meandering.
And so this is kind of, we were already talking about this. So Oz, what do you think about Harrison Ford, like about his performance?
I don't know if this was intentional, but it kind of just seemed to me like Harrison Ford was done. Like, he's like, why am I agreeing to do this movie? Like, that's the way his performance came across to me.
To be fair, he seems like that in real life all the time.
That's a fair point. All I'm saying is, why agree to do this movie then? Like,
A paycheck's a paycheck.
I mean, I get it. I respect the hustle. All I'm saying is, if you're that burnt out, just let it go.
Hey, when they showed him shirtless, he looked good for 80.
For 80?
Oh, yeah.
I'll give it to him. Like, put Ric Flair to shame.
There's a little Iggy Pop there, but yeah, it really looked good.
But I mean, for 80,
Yeah.
For 80,
Yeah.
though, man.
Wow. Kay, what'd you think about Harrison Ford here?
I think he was okay. I think that Oz is right a little bit.
It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah. But I think that he's okay. He just did seem a little bit done, but I could also see an older Indiana Jones being done.
Yeah, and like, I don't know if that was his intent. Like, that's kind of what I led with, was like, I don't know if it was intentional that he came across that way, or if it was just Harrison Ford being done.
Because I'll be honest with you, Sala's energy was the same, and kind of Harrison Ford's energy is kind of the same. Like, you know, he was kind of done in Last Crusade as well, and he definitely was done in Crystal Skull, but that was more like, he's like looking at the script and he's just like, where's the real script?
This is the fake script that gets leaked, right?
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Ace, what you think about Harrison Ford's performance here?
I mean, honestly, I thought that there were moments where I couldn't tell if he was phoning it in or if he's just, 80 years old. But there were moments where it seemed like he was trying to put something into it. And those were the few moments for me that were very few and far between, where it felt like he was trying to bring life to an Indiana Jones movie. And a large part of that also has to do with James Mangold, a director who I really appreciate. I mean, he's very good with Westerns and very good with Wolverine movies. But this kind of felt more like a movie he wanted to make to appease Disney, and instead of making a movie that has his brand of directing on it. But with that being said, I thought that that Harrison Ford's performance was it was better than I anticipated it being, but not as good as it could have been.
I definitely agree. Like, I thought it was good. Like, he felt like, at least as old Indy, he definitely felt like Indy to me. But there are moments in this movie where he really goes in, like where he's really showing off those acting chops.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed those as well. I've been watching him in 1923 a lot, which is a Western. And there were some moments from this where I was like, what am I watching? Like, am I watching 1923 right now? No, and he's amazing in that. So, yes, being able to, like, compare and contrast them, I definitely think that, like, he enjoys, like, playing that brand new character for him versus this. It was probably weird to be like, okay, we're going to go try to give you a good ending again.
Right.
You know, like 30 years later. So, yeah, I mean, I think so. So our primary antagonist here, Mads Mikkelsen, I can't believe it took him this long to play a Nazi. Right. I'm a big fan of his work.
Really?
Yeah.
It's taken him... This is his first Nazi role?
I think so.
His first open Nazi role. I mean, we can probably assume
Hannibal Lecter could have been a Nazi. We don't know. I mean, that's like one of the like, you know, when you start describing Hannibal Lecter, even if he was a Nazi, it'd take you like 10, 15 adjectives before you got to Nazi.
Caecilius from Doctor Strange could have definitely been a magical Nazi.
Yeah. Mystical master of the Nazi arts. But I'm almost always a big fan of his work. Ace, what did you think about him in this movie?
They could have gotten anybody to do what he did here in this movie. I feel like he was wasted. This was one of the biggest disappointments for me, just because I know what Mads Mikkelsen is capable of, and they gave him a villain role that was highly incompetent, but not like the funny kind of incompetent from the previous indie movies. This was just, he's incompetent. And and also, of course, I believe that there's a plot hole that me and Oz spoke about in the theater that we'll definitely have to talk about later on with this character. But yeah, happy to see Mads Mikkelsen, and his presence alone is intimidating because look at that man. But in terms of his performance here, man, I feel bad for him because he had nothing to work with.
I mean, and again, I'm going to go with, like, because I was even talking to Kaye about this in the car. I didn't feel like he was a villain. Like, he's an amazing villain in everything he's, like, you know, been a villain in. Like, he's just fucking phenomenal. But this movie, we've definitely talked about, like, the hero is only as good as the villain. Mm-hmm. And to me, this villain was super subpar, especially for Indiana Jones. Like, nothing against the actor whatsoever. I kind of agree with Ace there. Like, I don't think they gave him enough to work with. And he did what he could. Yeah,
I can see that. Kaye, what'd you think?
Okay, so what I liked was he was kind of a mathematician nerd who probably didn't have the chops to have that commanding power because he is a mathematician nerd. What I didn't like was that he was kind of flat.
Yeah. I gotta agree with really what all of you said, honestly. Mads Mikkelsen is capable of way more than that. I don't know if anybody could have done, like, if anybody could have done it, I don't know if I'd go that far, but I definitely would say that, you know, the range that Mads Mikkelsen is capable of, like, I would have wanted to see maybe, you know, if he plays, like, this, like, reserved guy, and then we see this part where he's, like, you know, when his plan starts going south, if he gets, like, maniacal or something, you know. But that never really happened. He's really...
Or maybe his face gets smashed in.
Yeah, I mean, he's just flat, you know. Or maybe, like, the Ark of the Covenant melts his face off. That happens in these movies.
Yeah.
I was really hoping when I saw that Mads Mikkelsen was cast in this movie, I was really hoping that this would be the villain to really, like, push Indy on, like, a mental and emotional level, like, really take him there. And he just didn't do that for me.
Yeah, I don't know that they even wanted that. I think this is very much a film where they just wanted to showcase Indy and give him a proper send-off. But yeah, they definitely could have done that with an awesome, memorable villain. I will say, we've already alluded to the flashback scene. I think that that he was better in the flashback scene than after. Like he just had more like I guess life to him than more gusto.
Well, see, I think Indy's villain is Nazi.
Well, yeah. In all the good ones.
It's not that he has a particular one. He is against. He has Nazi.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, I mean, I'd say that in the best indie movies, he's fighting Nazis. That's an easy way you can tell.
And not aliens.
Yeah, not aliens and not like really incredibly stereotyped Asian tribes with a bunch of.
If we're gonna get rid of stereotypes, we have to get rid of all 3 first indie films. Then now we have nothing.
Well, stereotyping Nazis is fine.
I mean, also at the same time, they kind of like those movies stereotype those Nazis. Like that's kind of their thing.
That's true. Yeah, I mean. But I mean, they are Nazis. So
they are Nazis, so you know.
So, I mean, they really only have one play. They're not really dynamic. So his goddaughter. Do you know the actress? Is she in your database?
Yeah, Phoebe Waller-Bridges.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I knew he would know. He didn't look it up. His phone's been sitting there the whole time. I just want to point that out. Yeah, I thought that that she was actually quite good. I don't know that I thought that she was amazing, but you know, I thought that she avoided they avoided the modern day like Mary Sue tropes with her, and I like that. Like, she is not what I expected her to be without spoiling anything. Like when you first see her in the movie, and then. Well, like kind of how she turns out to actually like her true motivations and stuff. I thought that was a nice surprise for me. So, Kaye, what did you think about her?
She was sassy, so I liked her.
That's fair. That's fair. She was very sassy.
Sassy female characters are all typically lovable. I will say for me, I actually really enjoyed her. Like, way better than Shia LaBeouf.
Oh God. Yeah.
What's his name? Butch? You didn't like Butch?
Yeah, no, screw Butch. No, but like, I mean, she was a bit tropey. I felt, but at the same time, not in like the over trope. You know, like it wasn't overly done, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like she just showed up to set and they didn't have anything written for her, and so she just did whatever.
And you know what? Probably what made the best parts of the movie, I guess. Like,
I preferred Willie over this character here, over Helena.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I did not like Willie.
I didn't like Willie at all.
I don't know if people are supposed to like Willie.
No, I don't think so. She's horrible.
Willie's the worst. Actually, so that was a bit of an overstatement. Willie is the worst, but just to kind of show you guys the great level, Helena here in this movie. I mean, yeah, she's here and she's very knowledgeable, and it's weird, right? Because her character, and I think this is maybe done on purpose, mirrors Indy in a lot of ways, but she does not have the charm or the charisma or even the energy of Harrison Ford. And so it's like, if you're gonna try to do like the mirror thing, then you gotta get somebody who can really fucking bring it, especially when the characters aren't particularly written deep in these movies. It's Harrison Ford who really makes Indy deep. And with Phoebe Waller-Bridges here, she just wasn't it for me. She didn't have that oomph to really bring the energy into this role to make it feel like something.
Yeah, I got a hard disagree with that. Yeah, I can't go down that road with you. Because I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely think there's places where she feels kind of flat, and maybe it's just that like all the characters except for Indy and her are pretty one note. So that could be it. But
what other note does she have?
No, I actually thought that she brought a lot of energy to a lot of the scenes in this, and she was witty, and I liked that. I mean, she's snarky.
Yeah.
That I also did appreciate about this movie that they put the kid in there. Teddy, is that his name?
Yeah, Teddy.
And he wasn't. They didn't Black Adam him. Like the kid was not horrible. I actually really didn't mind the kid. He was okay. And
I was okay with the kid until one scene. We'll get there. Got it.
Yeah, unless you're really good, I hate children in movies. I didn't like him either.
But he was nowhere near as bad as the Black Adam kid.
I was thinking about Black Adam kid while I was watching.
Oh
him.
my God! No. You gotta go back and watch Black Adam again. 'Cause that kid ruins that movie. You take that kid out of Black Adam, that movie goes up like 2 whole points.
It's almost like they're almost the same level of annoyance. It's just the kid in Black Adam is in that movie much more than Teddy.
That's true. I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
I thought that he was kind of like they wanted to have that dynamic that they had
With Shorty.
And they didn't get that.
Yeah, Shorty was great. I just watched Shorty the other day, and I'm like, damn. See, you gotta get some damn better casting. Whoever casted this movie.
I mean, they could have actually put Short Round in the movie.
That would have.
Honestly,
great.
I was expecting it, especially with the resurgence of him recently. I figured they would have thrown him in there.
I would have really loved that. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it probably would have made the movie better for me.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
So we got Teddy with his creeper mustache.
That mustache.
That's true.
It's the coming of age stash, you know.
I didn't have that.
No. I just had like a patchy beard, but I didn't have
Okay, I feel bad because I had that
when I was. You did.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you did.
It was super creepy. I'm so sorry, buddy. Like.
It's okay, Ace. I never thought you were a creeper.
Thank you, Kaye.
No, I didn't think you were a creeper. It just looked creepy.
Yeah, I didn't think you were a creeper. I think this kid might be a creeper. And he has the stash. He got the profession and the accessories.
Yeah.
Oz, what you think about the musical score here?
I mean, part of me kind of felt it was just the same shit, but not in the like good way. It was more of like we've always done it like this, so we're gonna do it this way, like kind of feel, and it was like someone trying to imitate what they used to do, and it just fell flat. Like I didn't like it.
Follow-up question: have you seen Jurassic World 3?
No.
Okay.
Don't.
No. Honestly, after the first Jurassic World, I stopped watching. The only movies that exist to me are Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3. And 3 is barely in there.
The thing is,
Lost World. It's not Jurassic Park 2.
Okay.
That's true. And the book is excellent. But just to let you know, you hated and stopped on the
best one.
Jurassic World movie.
Yes.
By a mile.
I'm very much aware, especially as much as I've heard you two bitch about it. So
Except for that scene where Bryce Dallas Howard runs from a T-Rex in heels. That's unforgivable.
Okay, anytime that a girl is running around in the middle of like
chaos.
A dinosaur
with
park.
high heels.
Dinosaur Park or sliding down the side of a building in Transformers.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
was the thing.
pisses me off. I'm like,
I heard her rant about
what
this
she
for
would
hours.
do is either she would kick off her shoes and go barefoot, or she would break off the heel.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, no.
She ran full speed from a T-Rex.
She did.
in
I
heels.
mean,
And lived.
awesome for her.
I mean, if it was a chick from the 70s, she might do the platforms. But
Platforms have more stability.
exactly.
than stilettos.
Exactly. Stilettos don't do that.
Yeah, that was an odd choice for that movie.
Nothing, and just for the record, nothing against Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh no, she's
Oh,
incredible.
no.
No.
She's amazing.
She's amazing.
Love her.
Yeah. Kaye, what do you think about the music here?
Okay, so what I liked about the music was that the music to voice ratio was appreciated.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Because that is one of the things that I hate about movies is when I cannot hear what is being said because music is so loud. And they kind of got that right. What I liked about it is what you didn't like about it. I like that they brought back the old music.
I mean, like, it wasn't the fact that they brought back the old music. It was more of the fact that they just, it kind of felt like they copied and pasted it. And
That is the way that it is in all of them.
I gotta say as well, like, I feel like that, I want Indiana Jones music. Like, and that's why I asked you if you'd seen, like, Jurassic World 3, because they commit the ultimate sin in that movie where, like, they give you the first couple of notes.
No.
They give you, like, da-da-da-da, and then, like, they change it.
Oh, no.
And then they give you some bullshit nonsense
Yeah,
that...
no.
It's
See,
awful.
I haven't watched any of those past Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever think about watching 3, pull up our review, and then you won't.
Yeah, then you
I'm not mad at Jurassic World when they killed the secretary the way that they did. I felt like that was... She was a bit annoying, but she didn't deserve to die that way. That was the most heinous death ever.
Oh, neither did Sam Jackson, though.
He didn't have a death. You just saw his arm.
The second one is the worst movie with dinosaurs in it. Like,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
so bad. I'm including all the like D list movies on like Netflix and stuff.
Velocipaster.
Like, yeah,
that's
yeah.
better.
Really?
Yeah, I'll take Velocipaster.
Did you say Velocipaster?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Velocipaster. That's a real thing.
No.
Oh, dear.
So, Ace, what
And
you
I'm
think about
not coming on the podcast to review that shit.
You just put that out there in the ether and like on like 3 different platforms.
I don't care. You are not making me come on this podcast to do that.
That could be a you and Brendan afternoon.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. He would totally do that with you.
As a matter of fact, when you ask him, he'll probably be like, "Yeah, I've seen it. We'll watch it."
He's like, I love that movie.
It can't be worse than the old Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, it was one of those Brendan actually owns on DVD.
Oh Lord.
I don't remember which one.
I
Yeah,
think it's the Mario movie.
it might be.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Ace, what do you think about the score here?
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was fine. I thought it was mostly fitting. Although I do understand what Oz says. I think for me, the difference is that when the music plays in the original trilogy, it feels like it's happening when it's not used to bolster up the excitement or the soul of that movie. It's used to just kind of accentuate it. Whereas in this one, it feels like they use the music as a crutch to be like, this is the part that you guys are really supposed to like. And so here's the music cue.
Except for one part. Like, this isn't really a spoiler. They were traveling somewhere, and Indy's standing up in a Jeep, and then the classic indie music plays, and I'm like, what sense does that make? Like, he's just, like, it's a montage moment. Like, not even a full-on, like, moment. And the indie music is playing. I'm like, no!
I did notice that scene as well, but I gotta say, like, I feel like in all of the movies that they do that. I mean, like, if you go watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, there's a lot of scenes where it's just a bunch of people digging in the desert, and they just hone that music in hard in the background. You're like, man, something cool and mystical is happening here.
Apparently, Indy riding in the back of a Jeep is a feat for him. I mean, he is 80.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. He is 80.
Yeah, I think the music was more like his entrance music. It's like Indiana Jones is here, motherfucker.
You know what? I'll concede.
It's his laugh track.
His laugh track?
Yeah.
All right, let's score this thing, and then we can start doing some spoilers. Ace, you want to go first on the score?
Yeah, we'll go at least the highest, I guess.
Oh shit!
I'm kidding. No, this movie was not terrible. I think if you go into this having maybe seen a lot of reviews, because there's been a lot of negative stuff about this movie online, the movie is not as bad as what maybe the internet would lead you to believe. With that being said, I also don't think that this is like a true blue Indiana Jones movie. This feels to me a similar way to how The Force Awakens feels. It feels like a safe, constructed, manufactured replacement or replica of something that worked previously, and trying to capture that same essence today, but it just doesn't have that kind of soul or heart put into it. I think that Harrison Ford, especially for his age, puts out the best performance that he can. There's times where like it shows better than others.
Are you still talking about Force Awakens, or?
That was good.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of went off there. Yeah, I do have to say this one thing that the internet said that I do agree with, though, is that the first 15 to 20 minutes of this movie is the best. So if you guys can only stick around for one act, make it the first one. But I mean, overall, this movie was fine. I give it a 6.8 out of 10.
Fair enough. Oz, what you got?
Like I said, the soul of this movie, like, cause like y'all have known me for most of my life, and I've worked in video stores. I used to be known as the movie buff of the group, and I liked everything. Ace has ruined me. However, with this, the soul just wasn't there enough for me. I'm actually gonna give it a 6.
Ooh, spicy. Kaye, what you got? What you thinking?
Okay, so it's very nostalgic for me because this was like Indiana Jones was something that me and my dad watched. We also watched a lot of Star Wars together, and so those things, even if they are trophy when they try to bring them back, I don't care. So I'm gonna give it an 8.
Definitely can see that point. Yeah, I can't kneel down for that 6. I can't do it. Let's see. All right, so I gave The Flash a 7, and I definitely enjoyed this movie more than The Flash. So it's gonna get better than that.
I gave The Flash a...
He gave The Flash an 8.2.
Yeah, I gave it an 8.2. Yeah.
Well, now I have to see it.
It's very funny, like thinking about that now, though. Now to see that that pretty much everyone was in the me and Dylan camp.
No, I disagree with that.
Well, the box office don't. So,
the town would tell for this one as well.
Spicy.
oh yeah. You might be right on that. I probably can't make that argument, but to me, like I went into this, the very first thing that I saw about this movie when the reviews started to come out was someone said we didn't know how good we had it with Crystal Skull, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That is the hottest of hot takes. That take has been dropped into the lava like Anakin Skywalker. Like that take is unacceptable. This movie is way better than Crystal Skull in every way imaginable. I would much rather that Indy went out on this note than go out the way that he went out in Crystal Skull. I am going to give this a 7.25. Couldn't give it 7.5 because I had to put it up there with the Batman. And that wouldn't be...
We don't need to bring that up.
I can't do that to you. I can't do that to you. Yeah, we can't talk about that either. All right, so let's talk about some stuff we got coming up. Ace, I know you got a full slate.
Yes, very soon. As a matter of fact, by the time a lot of you will hear this, Caleb and I will have reviewed White Sand, the Brandon Sanderson graphic novel in the Cosmere. It is right there in Caleb's hand for those of you guys watching. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. I'm very excited to talk about this, and also this is going to be one of the episodes on the Superhero Homies podcast where I'm going to be like, this is great, Caleb, tell me more about it.
And I will. Yeah. How much space you got on that thing?
Oh yeah, like dude, that's probably the longest episode you've ever had.
Actually, the longest episode I think I've ever had on my show was the one we just did. Which,
Shield.
We just did the Shield part 1. So if you've seen the Shield, go check that out. We did the first 4 seasons. It's 3 hours long.
It is. Yeah.
It was such a long episode,
but it was also really great.
It was amazing, and we're gonna do part 2 in the next couple weeks whenever you finish it.
Okay, yeah, which won't be long at the rate I'm going.
What else you got coming up?
Other things coming down the pipeline. There will from this week going forward will be weekly shorties on the Marvel Disney Plus show Secret Invasion. So I will be reviewing that. I just recently finished covering the Flashpoint story. It took me 2 episodes to do it in because 1 wasn't enough. And then also I have more Patreon episodes coming up. But also before that even I have a Captain America review. Where, for 4th of July, I will be having on Oz, Brendan and Caleb, and we'll be discussing the great Steve Rogers and all of his glory. So I'm really looking forward to that.
The look that Caleb gave me leads me to believe that he's not exactly excited about that.
I don't know why. He loves Captain America. We've talked about him plenty of times.
The only thing I'm hoping is that this is an elaborate ruse and this is actually superhero homie trivia. And he's just using this so that we don't prepare. That's what I'm hoping.
Is that right?
Oh, by the way, everyone at home, if you have not seen Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, this little party here, this is your opportunity to fuck off before we start getting into spoiler section. So that's what this little bit is.
Yeah.
Kaye, what's the Crochet Fairy got coming up?
So I am done until the last weekend of July, and then I will be at Savannah Comic-Con. I have a larger booth this time. Instead of the little artist alley, I actually have a 10x10 space. So half of it will be my Crochet Cadulius, and the other half will be Don doing his trading. So
Awesome.
We're pretty excited about it.
I am looking forward to seeing that.
Also, I don't know if you guys can see it, but Kaye actually crocheted for one of my birthdays. Cyclops up here.
Oh, yeah.
And she's, I have always kept
he's the
him.
worst X-Men ever.
He is not.
He's not the worst.
He is.
He is not.
We are together on this. He
Yeah.
is not.
He's
He's
lame
not.
as shit.
He
Oh,
is
wow.
the worst.
Okay, you know what?
He is a bitch.
We don't need to do this. All right, but
He's not in the frame,
You're
but I could get a shot of him before I leave, and then
yeah, he is excellent, and he's the only cool piece of actually only one of two cool pieces of content in this room that you can't get anywhere else.
What's the other one?
The Kevin Conroy signed Batman.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
yeah.
You really got to get a glass case for that.
I
You
know.
really do.
Yeah.
Like shadow
lights.
box, everything. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, like if
That's shadow box.
if this apartment building burns down,
Oh shit!
then like
must
that
be
needs to be the
protected.
one thing that
I
survives.
grab, yeah. It'd be the one
It's
thing
like-
I grab.
It's like that commercial about like protecting your cell phone. The dude pulls out the big glass case with the metal frame around it. It's like, oh, I'll scan my card now.
That is literally an irreplaceable item now.
It really is, yeah.
And we have to get Mark Hamill to sign it.
Oh my gosh!
Oh man.
But there's going to be some cool people at Savannah Comic Con. I was looking at it today. The Android 17, voice actor is going to be
Really?
there. So I have a 17 Funko on my shelves, and that's definitely going to happen. And also, Jake the Snake is going to be there. So yeah,
He's
that's
still
gonna,
alive. That's I'm sorry.
Messed up.
I mean, I don't know. The con's in 2 months, so.
It's in a month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a month.
So then end of July, yeah.
Yeah, that's why today I was like, hotel rooms.
that's
I gotta
a soon.
figure that out.
Oh,
We still got to figure that out.
Yep.
It's Tavern Notice Board, man. What you got?
Man, like I know I've been very quiet in the last few months. Mostly it's like I've had a lot of LARPs and events come up, and then now if you can't hear it, I'm getting over a massive head cold. So I do have some stuff in the works that I do plan on having very soon. Hopefully in the next few weeks, I'll be back up and running normally and get the fun tavern loving adventurers back, so we can have some good D&D content.
We have all these new stories to tell now.
oh yeah.
Since the last time.
Yeah, I will say that all three of you are actually part of my my Sunday table, and it is probably one of the biggest undertakings for me to actually successfully run an evil campaign.
We prefer the term morally ambiguous.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
more
I
accurate.
don't know that the things I'm doing are wrong. It's my programming.
No, but like
And what really is wrong anyway?
Is Galactus evil? You know?
Subjective.
Yes.
He's just hungry.
Aww.
He's hungry and he eats planets. Yeah, you're right.
no, but hopefully pretty soon I'll have get back on track and get everybody some of that D&D content they crave.
Good.
Bear's hungry. Bear's not evil.
We're not talking about Crow right now.
Crow's a different kind of bear.
That's my bed.
Let's see. Entertainment Evolved. What do we got coming up? Second part of the Shield. We already talked about that. And I think that's as far as I got planned. So we will figure it out. But yeah, I am very excited to do White Sand with you.
Oh yeah.
Very soon. So very hyped for that. Okay, if you're still here, then that means you either don't care about spoilers or you have seen the movie. And so it is full spoilers from here on out. So I'll start with you, man. Now that we're in the full spoiler section, what would be like the main thing that like you really loved about the movie or liked, I guess, and then what was the thing that like pissed you off?
Well, nothing really pissed me off. But there were a few things that irked me. However, the things that I liked the most, definitely, I think even Ace said it earlier, is like it's mostly in the opening 20 minutes of the movie. Like young Indy doing his thing. You know what? I do have something that did really kind of irk me, and it was about the CG, especially at the beginning. He was running across the top of the train, and you can obviously tell that they just kind of put it in the computer and like let it go. Like it didn't look real at all. A lot of the stuff that I kind of touched on it before is the soul of this movie just really wasn't there, and yeah, that's really all I've got. Like
I think it's thanks to Indy that I thought that quicksand and running on top of trains was going to be so much more of a thing.
Right? Yeah. And see, here's my thing. Like, I understand trying to save money on on CG, with CG instead of practical effects, but you can't discredit how better it looks when you have practical effects with things that you can actually do. Like, I can't count how many movies I've watched, even recently, that have people running on tops of trains. Why the fuck did they have to put that in CG?
Well, I don't think 80-year-old Harrison Ford can run on top of a train.
No, but his body double for the
Right.
the flashback scene could have done it.
So, like, well, you know what? They revealed this in the trailers. What I liked about Indy when he's older in this movie is they played him like an old man who just also is Indiana Jones. Like, he's still Indy, but he's fucking 80, right? He's old as shit. Mm-hmm. And I really loved that they played him that way and, like, his limitations, as opposed to Michael Keaton in The Flash, where they were just like, okay, this old as fuck Batman can do everything he could do in 89, plus a whole bunch of other shit, because now we have the wonders of CG.
Oh, yeah, he's Batman.
Yeah, I fucking know.
Even Frank Miller's Batman, who's old as shit, does shit that he did when he was young.
But
I mean,
why do we need a
Joel
Terry
from
McGinnis?
The Last of Us, man. Joel from The Last of Us.
Why do we need a Terry
nasty.
McGinnis if, like, old ass Batman can just do everything that young ass Batman can do?
Oh, yeah.
And I will even argue that Frank Miller's Batman got drug out of, like, a ditch by Carrie Kelly like 100 times. That's literally her job.
Why can't I use Joel?
Okay, because Joel is in the middle of an apocalypse, and he has to basically like stay up to all this. Harrison's Ford, and his Indy, he got to chill.
He did get some. Well, I guess technically he had like a day of retirement.
Well, yeah, but I
He
mean,
didn't even have a day.
as far as we know, though, like Crystal Skull's the last time he went on like a crazy adventure.
And that was just a fever dream, right? So that didn't even happen.
Yeah, I think they said that he was there for a decade, like 10 years, and he was like, thanks for putting up with me. So we can say for at least 10 years.
And Joel's like 40, 45.
No, he's 50.
Oh,
He's
okay,
50, bro.
Yeah. Fucking Harrison Ford is
All I'm saying is like you're talking about like old ass characters being strong enough to do all the crazy shit.
I think maybe a more apt comparison, since this is James Mangold, Logan is much older.
Way older than
He is a regenerating superhuman.
Not no more. He's not.
not anymore.
This
No,
motherfucker
he is not.
He is not healing. He's getting drugged. He's literally getting drugged by
It's very
younger.
odd that we are on the same page here. Like
This is a rare occurrence.
we should really not do this again.
Yeah, it feels icky.
It was the butthole in the sky.
It was the butthole.
Here we are in the spoiler section.
Spoiler section.
Talking about buttholes.
Sky buttholes. The butthole of time and space.
I thought the time butthole, it's actually a time and space butthole.
Oh, okay.
So the butthole of time and space, yes.
I thought that it was, I actually thought it looked awesome. I mean, it was a time space butthole, but like the visual when they did the big zoom out, right?
That's true.
And it like took up the whole screen, and like the plane was like tiny, and it was like way over here. That shot was some James Mangold goodness. Like That shot was beautiful.
I like that they cut the music out and just for a second, and you got to just take that in. I thought that part was really good. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, I actually leaned over and was like, "That was all. Like, looks awesome. Like, it was beautiful."
And then Ace had to lean over and go, "It looks like a ball in the sky." And I'm like, "You son of a bitch! You can't see it."
If there's a round thing that objects get sucked into, it must be a butthole.
That's it had like the butthole wrinkles on the.
Oh my god. Okay.
I think something else that we may disagree on here is like with the third act. I was actually, for the most part, I was with it until these motherfuckers actually time travel.
No, I thought it was fucking awesome.
I thought it was
I was actually with you. Like, and that's like, granted, I know Indiana Jones has fucking done some crazy shit with supernatural stuff. I get it. But fucking time travel. Alright, so the last two fucking Indiana Jones movies, they have done the worst science fiction tropes for his type of movie, which are aliens and time travel. What the fuck?
Like, I leaned over to Oz and I said, they have really jumped the shark.
Okay.
You hate it whenever it's aliens.
I agree. Yeah, like that's the main reason why I hated it. Crystal Skull. But at the same time, like, you can't Indiana Jones, he can fuck around with ancient artifacts. However, he doesn't fuck with time travel. Does he look like Marty McFly to you? No!
He didn't want to.
Yeah. First off, he didn't want to fucking.
On the plane.
That's actually where I leaned over and was like, why are they
taking him?
Yeah, why are they taking him with them? Like, this is the one dude who can fucking stop you. Just leave him here. Like,
matter of fact, he's actually alive when in the time period that you're trying to go back to. So fucking stop.
That's true. There's gonna be fucking two of them if you bring this one back there with you. Where you thought
part of me thought that's where they were going with it.
I actually thought that. So and Dylan and I caught in this. I don't know if you guys saw it, but like we caught that it was his watch.
It was his watch
the whole time. So it's like, so it's the whole linear time thing where like they always went back in time.
Yeah,
and that's how he gets the watch. But like I really actually loved that aspect of it. I thought they were going to do something like that, and I actually was thinking that like the older Indy would get killed or something in the past, but I'm glad they didn't go that route. I actually was very happy when he was like, those are triremes or whatever. Actually, it was before he says that. I saw the flags and recognized them.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've played a shit ton of Rome Total War.
I'm over here like, they're in fucking Rome. Yeah, like, that's the fuck. No.
I loved that shit.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I do appreciate the fact that they did that instead of taking them back to Germany when he wanted the direction he wanted to go in.
How often do you have it where there's a villain in a movie and like they want to kill Hitler and you're like, no, let's stop.
Dang it! I didn't even think about that.
Oh my god,
That's
that's you know. And maybe that's the reason why I didn't look at this guy as a villain.
Yeah, like, if you'd have just told everyone like that was your plan, they would have helped you. You don't have to tell him why he's going to do it because he wants the Nazis to win. But like, if you just tell him, "Hey, I'm going to use this to go back in time and kill Hitler," Indy might have been like, "Well, sure, I know where the other piece is. Let's go get it."
Let's go get it. But I will say one of the things that did kind of bug me is like how often Indy would get just enough ahead of them, just for them to catch up to him and steal the shit.
That's how they all work.
Yeah,
I know.
That's
I'm
literally
just
how
stating.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I'm just stating.
Yeah, but it's crazy, right? What works in the 80s and what fucking doesn't work 40 years later.
Like, yeah, no. Like, to me, like, sure, Raiders of the Lost Ark, by all means, that worked back then. It does not work now. Like, first off,
so Indy hasn't changed. We've changed.
Well, the times have changed.
Times have changed, yes. So, the half of the half of a chase scene that me and Ace were kind of debating on whether making a full chase scene or not is like right after they kidnapped Teddy. And immediately they jump in a bug.
It wasn't a bug.
It was close to damn enough. It's a beetle.
The car was built by Nazis. Anyway.
It's a Volkswagen of some sort.
Volkswagen of some sort. Either way. And they just miraculously know where to go so they get there just like maybe 20 minutes before the bad guys.
I was more impressed by Mads Mikkelsen's ability to like nautical follow a boat via binoculars.
Oh, God, right?
Well, that boat they were on was super advanced. It had enough fuel to go all the way across the fucking Indian Ocean.
That's fair.
So the little maps that they kept doing, I know they did the maps before, but this time specifically, it very much reminded me of the Chipmunks, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
You're right, though.
It very much reminded me of that one.
You know what? I'm not arguing with that at all. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it was the little CG boat and plane that looked like Monopoly pieces.
maybe that's what it was. Yeah,
but I got those vibes so much whenever they did the map.
I was like, are they going to do the thimble? I love the thimble. Speaking of the time travel, though, I just want to point out that this man likes Heroes and this man liked The Flash. Mm-hmm. And both of those are far worse abuses of time travel than in this movie.
Disagree, but we can.
So, time travel has literally a time and a place. Mm-hmm. In an Indiana Jones movie, is not the time and place.
But we're in the middle of a writer's strike. It's the same thing.
This movie was
you know
done.
What? I'm getting the fuck up and I'm walking out. That was a low blow, sir.
It was.
That was so low.
I'm so sorry. I will say, since we're talking about the space and time butthole,
I fractured butthole.
I think my favorite. No, that's the South Park game. I think my favorite line in the movie though was actually the Mads Mikkelsen when he dropped the math conquered space and now it will conquer time. I thought that was cool as shit. I thought that was a great line.
That is a great line. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Whoever wrote that must have walked in, wrote that shit down, and then quit.
Deuces.
Because there wasn't really another part of the script where I was just like, "Oh, this is amazing." Until the end, you could have predicted they were going to do a reunion scene with him and Miriam. But when they did their thing, mm-hmm. I felt it then. I was like, oh, they did the thing.
Oh, okay. So it's okay for you to feel it there, but when I see Keaton show up and he does the thing, it's a problem.
Okay, so I like them together. I like Miriam and
they're
I like
toxic.
They're toxic, and he's also a groomer because
we don't need to talk about that.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
When they first meet, she's 16, he's 27.
They didn't have to.
Her character in the movie?
Yeah. No. Her character in the movie is 19.
Oh, well then
it had been 3 years beforehand, 3 or 5 years beforehand, and they had been in a relationship. So he was 30 in the first movie. And
so you're saying Harrison Ford is?
No, I'm saying
the
Indy was.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, he was dating her when he's 27, 26, and she's 15.
It was a weird thing to put in the movie. When I rewatched Raiders, I was like...
And see, the messed up part is when that movie came out, no one batted an eye at that shit.
It was is this commonplace back in 81?
We don't know what the statute of limitations is in Egypt. We just don't know. I mean, it's probably Googleable.
Yeah,
but
it is very cringe.
Gaps works when you're all over 18.
I feel like they released Leon the Professional. That shit shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, that was in the 90s.
Ooh,
that was in the 90s.
Yeah, that was in the 90s.
So yeah.
But no, their little thing was adorable.
Yeah, when they started, when she first walked in, I was like, okay, yeah, I figured this was gonna happen. But when they did the thing, I was like, okay, I felt it then.
I did.
It was a good ending for the character.
Yeah, I thought it was. I mean,
for what it was, sure.
Yeah.
It's better than Crystal Skull.
God.
I mean, we can say that all night, but I'm just saying.
I would like to point out, if your defense of a movie is better than Crystal Skull, that is not a defense.
This is the Chewbacca defense. This shit does not make sense.
if we had reviewed Rise of Skywalker together, that would have been my whole defense. He'd been like, "This is a terrible film." I'd be like, "It's better than Last Jedi." He'd be like, "This is fucking terrible," all the way through, irredeemable. It's better than Last Jedi. That was the whole review.
Super good.
That is my defense.
That's my defense.
Is this it? Or like, do you think that they will?
Indy said he's like Harrison Ford said he's done. Like they can do
stop
whatever.
them from doing reboots.
No.
No, it won't. Give them
10 years?
10 years, maybe 20, and they'll be redoing it.
Like I'm waiting on the Back to the Future reboot, and I'm pissed. Like I know it's
I didn't
gonna
even
happen.
think about that.
Like that's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be so mad.
So both of the creators of those films have to die, because the way that the rights are structured for those movies, for that property, Robert Zemeckis and the other guy, both of them have to agree, like have to give it the okay. And both of them had said that neither of them will do so ever, that they don't think it should ever be touched. So, but once they're both gone, like the next day.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Yeah, they're going to be like, we got this old John Peters script from the 90s. Let's get it out of here.
No, God, no. Please, no.
Like, I think we've all said this on a podcast or just in person, but stop remaking shit that was good.
Right.
Give us remakes to shit that was bad so we can actually like it.
Aragon.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes, please.
Which they are.
I know they are, but because
Eventually.
it was so bad, my hopes for this one are like, I'm so leery.
But were the costumes good?
No.
No, they
No.
weren't.
Oh.
The only thing that the Aragon movie got right was Saphira's voice.
Yeah.
That's it. That is the
Like,
that
even
is-
the fucking sword that he used looked ridiculous.
yeah.
Like, that blade was fucking horrible.
Well, Brom was good. What's his name?
Brom was decent.
He's in the D&D movie. He plays Alfred in Justice League.
Oh, Jeremy.
Jeremy Irons. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons is in the movie, and he's
Oh.
the only live action performance that was even remotely good.
Yeah, and he's not in it for the whole thing.
Yeah, no, he's not, and he dies. Spoilers
Yeah, he
for
dies.
spoilers for Aragon, like a 20-year-old book and movie. But you should not watch the movie.
No, please don't watch the movie.
Don't even hate watch it.
No, it's not worth it.
I came to this movie to hate watch it and couldn't. So,
This is not Howard the Duck.
When are you gonna forgive me for that? I said I'm sorry.
I'm not going
All
to
right.
give it... It's
I didn't know it was gonna be
because
that
of that is because probably part of the reason why I didn't like this movie as much as I should have is because you have broken me. You have changed the way I see the world, you ass.
How could you?
You're welcome.
I'm so glad that he puts it all on you.
Right? Yeah.
It's not like he got in the car and drove over here, walked up the steps, and sat down to watch the movie.
It's true.
Listen,
that is yeah.
You were
You
my
agree.
wife. You were supposed to be on my side here.
Hey,
Wow, when does that ever happen?
That's a fair point.
I mean, sometimes
She called me a bitch earlier.
I get called a bitch.
Oh, but I call you a jive ass turkey and you get upset.
Oh yeah, because you're supposed to be on my side too.
I'm not supposed to be on your side.
No, we've been rivals since
I'm
day
actually
one.
supposed to be exactly where I'm sitting, across from you. It's all about the damn ketchup.
Yeah.
It's an inside joke. Hey, I gotta ask you.
Oh, yeah.
Your ketchup. Do you keep it in the fridge?
I do.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I think we've done.
See?
I think
Ever
we've.
use your
I think
ketchup.
we've. I think this has gone. I think this has gone on long enough.
What was this?
You were wrong,
Oh,
Caleb.
this is a thing, huh?
Caleb only likes his ketchup.
Room temperature.
Yes.
Yes, because cold ketchup is fucking disgusting,
All ketchup is gross.
and I will die on this hill. And see, I can respect that.
I
But
mean,
yeah, cold ketchup is fucking gross. Anyway,
You're wrong.
is it just ketchup? Is it also mustard or?
no, you're supposed to refrigerate mustard.
Okay, silly me.
Like it says on the mustard. No, on the mustard it says refrigerate after opening.
Okay.
But it doesn't say that on the fucking ketchup though.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Jeez, Ace.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
Yeah.
Learning new things over here.
I mean, how to read? Is that a new thing? It can't be. Look at all these books. and this is the rabbit hole.
Oh no!
Other things happen in this movie.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
What was your favorite chase scene?
You mean the 3.5 that we got? Sure. Yeah.
I actually really loved the chase, and I'm with you. I typically hate a chase scene, but the one where they were in the little like shitty car or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like, especially when the guy is like driving and the buildings are getting narrower, and he screams, and just like movie trope, you expect the car to explode because why wouldn't it explode? And it just like stops, and it's like doink. Like, I loved that shit.
It was so funny. It reminded me of the boats coming together.
Yeah, go between them. Are you crazy? Like, this is exactly what came to my mind, and like someone should have yelled it, or Michael Keaton in the Flash, they could have been like, "Go between them." Are you crazy? But he delivers all the lines terribly. He's like, "Do you want to get nuts?" But actually, that was more Batman-y than he says.
See, I disagree. I think that Keaton puts forth a way better performance than Phoebe Waller-Bridges.
No.
Yeah.
No. Nope. But
I have to watch this movie now just so I can be the tiebreaker.
that was the best chase scene.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite. The one with the horse made me anxious.
Because the subway train almost killed the horse twice.
Yeah, I was worried for the horse.
That's fair. That may have been my favorite, just because like they did something
Different.
somewhat different. Yeah.
But completely unnecessary. And why would you?
He's Indiana Jones, man.
Yeah.
Like that part.
He has to be on
He's
a
Indiana
horse
Jones.
at some point.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
You've now given me my arguments for the rest of the night.
That's
Thank you. Well, he's Indiana Jones.
He's Indiana Jones.
It's better than the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, it's better than Crystal Skull.
Can we talk about how the kid Teddy straight up brutally murdered that one henchman?
Oh my
Oh
god!
my god! I was like, no, he didn't.
I totally thought that like they were gonna do some shit where like that henchman was gonna wrench the gate free and like he was gonna come up out the water.
Oh no! Like honestly, what I thought was gonna happen was like after it happened, of course he's gonna scream, do his thing. Later, right before, like maybe Teddy's about to dive on, I can't remember the bad guy's name. Like the main.
I didn't. Oh, the main bad guy.
Yeah,
Mads Mikkelsen.
yeah, Mads
Mikkelsen.
Yeah, like, that's
Holy crap, what was his character's
He has some
name?
German ass.
Schmidt.
But that wasn't
But
his
that's not
actual
the
name.
actual name.
Yeah.
But
And she was like, "Why would he move to Alabama?" I was like, "He fit right in. The Nazis had the same."
That's true.
It's in the 60s.
Yeah, I was like, but it's also like the American government knew about him.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, of all the USA, where were we going to stick them? Oh, I know. Let's put the Nazi in Alabama.
Well, I mean, listen, those Nazis were very intelligent that we stole from them. And in Alabama, shout out to all the Alabama listeners.
We're talking about Alabama in the 60s. Yeah. But, I mean, that is a very real thing that happened where they took a bunch of Nazi scientists and like, they were just like, well, we know you're Nazis, but you're very smart. So, and that they kind of under the radar pulled them over.
I guess back before we rabbit hole into that segment, like what my thoughts on it was before Teddy was about to dive onto Mads' character, I would figure the big dude would just kind of come out of nowhere and catch him. Like one of those moments where like we don't see him actually escape on the underwater death that he was supposed to have.
Yeah, we didn't see him die, so that's why I was like, well, he's gonna come back. That's just how cinema works.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Well,
But no, he straight up.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's cold as ice.
Yeah, that was.
I mean,
I was a bit shocked when that happened. I was like, oh no, he didn't.
yeah, that
That
kid
little
just killed
kid,
him.
like-
That kid just killed
Well,
this
I mean,
Yeah, this kid, he's clearly done some shit in his short past because he can fly planes.
and like he wasn't shaken up by that shit at all.
None.
At all.
Yeah.
well, I mean, he when we meet him, he was like the fucking doorman at a fucking black market auction. So
Yeah.
And he
And-
was flying a flight.
and he was learning how to fly a plane. So
Yeah, I played Flight Simulator. I don't think I can fly 747.
I mean, I'm gonna agree with Ace. I'm agreeing with you, Ace.
I don't know if you can fly one in the new Flight Simulator on like pro mode, you probably really can fly one. I should never be allowed to fly a plane, just for the record, based on my performance in that game. I like the Top Gun jet because you can't wreck it. Like you just fly it into the ground and like it. Yeah, they put the Top Gun jet in there and you can't crash it. So
Oh, that's dope as hell.
yeah.
Like I was completely cool with Teddy and tell the motherfucker hot wired an airplane.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't even like he spent some time on it.
I was okay with that.
He just pops the thing off and sticks 2 wires together. That is not how airplanes work. Yes, that's how cars work, maybe, but
So first off, this is in what, the 60s?
Yeah, an airplane at that
okay.
time wasn't really.
Well, it would be similar, and he's hot-wired all kinds of shit.
but also it's a German airplane.
What does that have to do with anything?
Germans, I mean, God.
We owned a Volkswagen Bug. You gonna sit there and tell me that wasn't the most complicated piece of machinery we ever owned?
Complicated piece of machinery, no. That was a hybrid.
Oh, that's fair. We're not gonna talk about that.
Actually,
Actually.
having worked for the German car manufacturer Volkswagen and Audi, I can say that they take a lot of pride in how advanced their vehicle technology was when they first came out in comparison to the Japanese or the Americans.
So
Okay, still, I'm saying I can see him being able to hotwire a plane so much better than actually flying the damn thing.
But he flew it pretty damn well.
And he flew it through the time-space bubble and then back through the time-space bubble.
No.
Oh, the other guy flew it.
Yeah, like
That poor sleeping pilot.
No, like the fucking, like, apparently coma victim. Because the motherfucker didn't wake up until they were almost through the butthole.
I'm pretty sure those planes are loud as fuck, you know?
Right?
He just sleeping?
He's a pilot. He hears that noise all the time.
Sure, yeah, even his own.
In his own? Yeah, exactly. In
Like-
his own? Like, how drunk was he?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean
that is my only argument for that is the fact that he is German. He's probably fucked up.
Okay,
That's
but still, what woke him up then?
I agree because like there wasn't a moment that was like when he wakes up. No, he just like starts stirring a little bit, and all of a sudden it's like
Time butthole.
the plane has a specific alarm for time-space butthole. And that went off, and he was like, no, that can't be true. It's impossible.
I ain't low key. If they're gonna do a spinoff, I just need to see those two, like Teddy and the pilot. Like,
Yeah.
And that could be the name of it.
Teddy and the pilot.
We don't know the pilot's name. He is the pilot.
Because they had to have some very interesting conversations.
probably Ivan or some shit like that. Like
I just remember seeing the like island and being like, where the fuck are they gonna land the other plane? Because it's like there's not a landing strip here. Like,
See, that's what the pilot was for. That's
Yeah.
why. That's the whole reason he was there, was so he could make that landing. Because there's no way, even they could foresee Teddy being able to land it.
also, this is just a minor thing and probably just an oversight, but did y'all notice that Teddy just ran up and opened that fucking hatch? Like he knew exactly how to open it.
Yeah, that was okay.
Like he didn't fumble with it at all. Just like, oh, whoop.
well, I mean, to be fair,
To be fair,
he knew the exact like model of the plane. The kid seems like he's obsessed with planes.
I mean, that's fair. He did know the model.
that's
So
fair.
if he knew the model, he probably knew how.
okay, I'll concede to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, although I will say, like, I'm really torn on this. Like, I'm glad they didn't do it, but I also want him to do it. When she asked him if he can fly the plane, I want him to be like, fly, yes, land, no. But he didn't say it.
That would have been great because that's
Yeah, but I just don't know. I don't know. Like,
Well,
There was another issue with that same scene though. Is like right after she asked him, and he was like, "Yes," and then he goes to do it, and she tries to stop him, as it was her idea.
It was her idea, but the plan was not fully discussed.
no. Let me tell you exactly what this was.
Oh.
that is what you do as a manipulation tactic.
You're right. Though.
Yeah, that was straight up manipulation.
Like, get the
well, we
job
can do
done,
this.
bitch.
No, don't do it. It's dangerous. Oh, he's gone. Okay, well.
I thought it was just because a bunch of gunfire opened up, like, right at that moment.
I thought it was, hey, I'm going to jump on this motorcycle. I'm going to try to get on this plane. I'll catch you in the sky.
In reality, this should have been like the other guys with Sam Jackson and The Rock. How they do ridiculous shit and they both end up dead.
Like I will say, I will give them the motorcycle part of this. Like all that rain, and she actually reacted to it. In an action movie, like if you notice a lot of action movies, they're like driving the motorcycle in the rain. Their face doesn't get fucked up at all.
Oh yeah, they're too cool for that.
They're too cool for that.
Because the rain's usually like put in after.
Yeah, exactly.
True, yeah.
So like she was just getting pelted. It was like, okay, this seems a little more legit.
Yeah.
I will say I didn't like the fact that she just had all she had to do was grab a hold of the fucking wheels and ride her ass up in there.
I mean, that's tropey.
I know,
That
it's
is
super
happening
tropey.
every
That is
time.
definitely
It's
movie
super tropey.
And dangerous as fuck, folks. You cannot do that.
You can't.
Not on a modern airplane, anyway.
No, like
And even if you did do it on a modern airplane, you would be in the cargo hold in the bottom, and you will freeze to death.
Yeah.
Because it is cold as fuck in there.
like that's if you didn't get crushed by the landing rudders and shit. Like
Yeah. So something that Oz mentioned while we were watching the movie that I wasn't gonna call a plot hole because I was like, surely they'll explain this. Maybe I missed it. How was
time
Mads?
space plot hole?
What? I don't even want to think about those. how is Mads Mikkelsen alive?
Oh, like after he got hit by that fucking...
Yeah.
Man, you know
And
these
without a
Nazis.
goddamn mark on his face.
Yeah, I was expecting some scarring or something.
Like,
first
I
level,
wanted
but
some
no.
fucking James Bond villain shit, man.
I mean, he's Mads Mikkelsen. He's already a James Bond villain.
Right? I'm just saying. Like, give me, like, the fucking scar across the face. Something.
Or, you know, they could have done some shit where, like, he had, like, come forward in time. Like, he had found the shit and, like, used it and, like, lost it or something. Like, they could have done the plot that way.
That would have been kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I was thinking they were gonna do. But
the mathematician didn't take into account continental drift.
Well, there was the whole thing
Maybe
where...
don't know about Pangea.
I guess they couldn't have done that, you know, because they revealed at the end of the movie that like the dial doesn't really work. It only takes you to there.
yeah.
Because like he wanted help to defeat the Romans, which that was actually cool. I actually kind of liked that twist. I want to talk about Mads Mikkelsen's henchman, Vulcan Skull. Was the big dude? I feel like he got bigger.
As the movie
That's
went
what it's
on.
on.
Yeah, it was.
I
It was.
thought that too.
I couldn't tell. I was like, is he real? Like this guy is.
He was like in John Wick 4, like
Yeah.
that fucking big ass dude that he fights.
Yeah, which was just Scott Adkins.
Yeah.
He looked massive in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, or the Blob from
yeah.
X-Men Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kept getting bigger, right? Like it
He was
thought so.
enormous.
Yeah, he was pretty big. Yeah.
I felt like when you first saw him though, he just kind of looked like
Just
like
thick.
linebacker. Yeah, like he a thick old boy.
Yeah.
Corn fed. And then like next time you see him, it's like, is this the Hulk? Like, is this the Nazi Hulk?
I think that this is the version, like in like the timeline where the Nazis did formulate the super soldier serum, and they gave it to that.
Shit. Okay.
I swear he got taller too.
Yeah.
They kept giving it to him. That's why he got bigger.
And then the other guy was just a fucking moron.
He could not shoot. For
Who
shit.
was Boyd Holbrook as
I called that
That's
shit
awesome.
like right off the bat.
he didn't know the name, but he knew.
I was like, is that the fucker from Logan? Like with the metal arm and the sunglasses? He's like, no,
I was
that's
like, I don't
not
think
him. And then you're like, yep, that's him.
That's him. Yep.
He just has that douchey mustache, man.
But I didn't think it was him because I was like, he doesn't really talk that way. I'm like, he won't do that same accent again.
Man, typecasting's a thing.
And like his solution to everything is to shoot at it
Shoot at it.
poorly.
And I do think it was like this was my thought. In my brain was like when they all put on the Nazi gear at the end. I was like, "You're American. They're gonna kill you just cause."
Yeah.
Like, just don't open your mouth because you obviously don't know how to speak German.
Right. It's crazy. Wild off the note kind of thing. He was really good in Sandman. But
Yeah.
Oh, I love Sandman.
Yeah. It was he was great in that.
Yeah.
We're getting another season of that, right?
more episodes, yeah.
I know you got the Omnis in here.
Yep,
So
there they
right
go.
there, yeah. All of them.
I
So
read the first 3.
It's really good. Really, really dark. Really sad. Really
Yeah.
good.
So good.
Really dark, really sad.
really good.
Really
Really good. I feel like there's a lot of things on these shelves that you could
Really dark, really sad. Really good.
Frank Miller Batman.
Emotional trauma. I'm down. Let's go.
Invincible over there.
Oh, yeah.
Emotional damage.
You should read Invincible, but not watch it. Not watch. That cartoon is gory as fuck. We were going to get another season of that.
Yes.
So
Eventually.
Yeah.
it's soon.
Well, hopefully they're done writing it then.
They had to wait on Run the Jewels to come out with some music. All right. What else do we got about Dial of Destiny that we want to talk about?
I think my favorite moment with Chickadee, what was her name?
Helena
was when she was walking around in the ship and being sassy and kind of flirty.
With the dynamite.
Yeah. That I liked that moment.
That was actually an okay moment. It was, because at that point we still don't know if she was a good guy or a bad guy or just out for herself. And then, yeah.
I also have another question. Did Teddy take the diamonds?
Somebody took the damn diamond.
She gave him the diamonds before, right after he
So
gave
they
it to her.
still have the diamonds.
So they said?
They said.
They also could have picked up literally anything when they were in the past, and it would be worth a fuck ton.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like that one guy that got like the spear through his face, I could have just been like, all right.
Oh, I got this.
And-
That was actually a qualm I had with this. Because, like, that Roman general, I don't even know if it was Roman. What was he?
Talking about the guy that like came off the ship first? Because that guy was a Roman with the big shield. Or are you talking about Archimedes?
No, the dude with the head.
fro?
No, not the fro. I know. Like, he was the one that noticed the plane and then started running towards the plane and then got shot in the back.
That was a Roman.
Okay, yeah. So, like, that was my problem with that. Like, this dude obviously knows how to, participate in combat and actually knows some smart tactics. Why the fuck would he just assume he is safe in the middle of a war zone to go attack some random fucks that just showed up and then get shot in the back?
Well,
Man,
he's not planning on anyone having a gun.
No, he got shot in the back with 2 arrows.
It was his phone that killed him. But I mean, if you saw an alien crash land, I wouldn't want to kill it. I'd be too scared. But this guy is trained for this.
I'm over here like, Abin Sir. Like,
Sir.
Give me that Green Lantern ring, bitch.
I was like, man, I want to get the psyche of those guys on the ground fighting the war who look up and be like, what in the goddamn fuck?
Well, yeah, a little bit. They called it dragons. Like,
Yeah.
oh, dragons! They got dragons!
Let's shoot at it.
Let's shoot at it. Well, they shot the fuck out of
They
it.
did. Yeah.
Since you mentioned Green Lantern, I thought I'd just bring up the little fact that the Flash is probably going to make less money. It's actually estimated to. Yeah.
It's kind of like several movies over the past couple of years.
Yeah. Everything but Morbius, pretty much.
No, I mean, several movies over the past couple of years making less than Green Lantern.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Morbius, Eternals.
Well, back then you could just turn out a superhero movie and be like, oh, it's a superhero. People be like, here's our money. And then, like, the next day they'd be like, why did we do that again?
Yeah. It's crazy, though, because more people still saw Flash than who saw Miss Marvel. But,
Do we know that?
Still pretty fucking sure.
Huh? I don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna have to do some
Yeah,
research.
because most people know that the Flash movie exists.
Man, we don't have to do this. I'm not here.
You started it.
Okay. I didn't. I didn't bring Kamala into it though. You did that.
You just brought Green Lantern into this.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right.
That's right.
I have to rein in my aggravation.
With what?
Green Lantern.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's.
Well, not necessarily the movie. It's a whole nother rant. It's too long.
That's what we do here.
That's what we do here. We go down the rabbit hole, as we've been doing.
Okay, so if you're in any of the Lantern Corps, you get a nice little costume to go with your ring. Like, awesome, right? Good for you.
Star Sapphire.
What the fuck is up with her costume? Like, seriously, there's nothing. I respect Power Girl's costume so much more.
Really?
Than I do hers.
I mean, I agree with you.
I
love Power Girl's costume.
I loved her costume, okay, but it has a little bit more than she's like, oh, look, I have a belly button. Good for me. The other chick is like, oh, look, I have titties. And then, like, line of sight, she can totally fuck somebody over with that. But no, Star with the Sapphire is like, I have a belly button. I am going to use it.
And on top of that, what was the star crotch thing?
Oh, yeah. Her star is, like, right over her crotch. Like, right over her vagina. It's right there. It's so bad.
It's a safe place to keep it,
That's where her star is.
I believe I've heard her have this rant before, and I think it's great that she's having it now. But I like one of the most funny parts of this rant, however, is after the star, she was like, it's almost like they had a big neon sign that says "Dick goes here."
Well, I mean, if you're dealing with the lantern corps, there's a lot of different species and races.
Oh,
and,
they may not know.
They may not know. So,
It goes here.
yeah, it goes there.
It goes there.
Yeah, just follow the stars.
I hate her costume. I think out of all the female superheroes or villains, I hate hers the most. I despise it.
Well, I was gonna say, have you seen Titans? Cause
Season 1 Titans.
yeah, season 1 Titans.
Thankfully, it does get... Her costume gets better.
Okay,
Yeah.
look here. I am not watching that monstrosity.
Yeah,
Okay?
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
a good
they
call.
totally messed her up.
yeah.
She is not who she's supposed to be, and I refuse to acknowledge its existence.
That's fair. I can't.
Hey, Kevin and I, we reviewed the first 2 whole seasons of that. You should check it out. Then, check out the
I will listen to the podcast because I support and love you. I will not watch that show.
I couldn't even make it through season 2, and like, it's a Robin and Deathstroke. See,
Yeah.
like that's the main plot, and just on paper, I should be like my eyes glued to the screen for that. Instead, they were glued to my pillow because I was asleep.
Yeah. We discussed whether or not we were going to, review the other seasons, and we said, well, we can either hate watch it, and the people who like the show will hate us for hate watching it, or we can just not do it.
I think you made the right call.
Yeah.
Content, gotta have it.
Yeah, it's why I don't have a Rings of Power episode.
Oh, I was wondering, where's the Rings of Power?
I done did it now. We can't get into that rant.
The costumes are beautiful.
They are. Yeah, everybody looks
Full
like they're
circle,
headed to
guys,
cons.
full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone notice that they really didn't get dirty in this movie? I was surprised at that because I thought that Hollywood had gotten...
That actually leads me to a moment. But continue. I'll get back.
I'm done. I was just say I thought that Hollywood had gotten past that point.
No,
Chickadee went through 2-3 outfits, but her boy that she's supposed to be caring for, he's in the same thing with the same straw hat.
we have a teenager at the house, baby. You can't.
Okay, yes, I know that, but she's
fair.
like, oh, look, I got a new outfit. And she doesn't even buy him a souvenir hat. Like, James will totally change his hat.
That's true.
But he was dressed like the kid from One Piece the whole time.
Good for him.
Just because he has a straw hat doesn't make him from One Piece.
No, but he's got the little thing and the shirt on. All, yeah, I mean,
Maybe he just has multiple replicas of the same outfit.
Ooh, I mean,
Oh, that's
James
true.
also does have that.
she was the only person who changed her outfit other than the Nazis in the movie.
So
is true.
this actually was one of the it was minor, and I let it go, but it bugged me. It was during the train scene at the very beginning. Indy's rolling around with the dude.
You have to specify because there's multiple train scenes.
At the very
At the
beginning.
I'm referring to the one when it's like towards the end of the scene where
Young Indy.
young Indy, he is rolling around with the main Nazi guy, and the Nazi dude shoves him into the tunnel roof.
Oh, yeah.
How the fuck did his leather jacket not get destroyed?
That's Indiana Jones's leather jacket.
No, like
It would
all
be
right,
like
this
his
is not
hat.
D&D.
It's
This
not
is
a
not
plus
D&D.
5. It's a plus 5.
No. This is not D&D. These fucking outfits are able to get destroyed.
It's a legendary
No.
artifact.
No, it is
Indiana
not.
Jones's leather jacket.
That hat and the leather jacket.
Yeah, the hat hasn't taken any damage.
Never,
Ever.
ever.
The only
And
person, the only
whip
thing that
is
takes
still
damage
just
is
as
Indy.
good.
I'm sorry. I just can't. No, like from 80s movies, I expect it. From this movie, no.
That hat is from like the 1910s.
Just saying.
It's beautiful.
I also want to point out, since we're talking about the hat, there's one part in the movie where there's another dude that has on a fedora, and Indy knocks the shit out of him for no reason. He's like, I'm the only person here who can wear a fedora. Whack! Like, because like Indy gets up, and the dude's on the ground, and he's getting up, and Indy stops and just hits the shit out of him, and I was like,
we're talking about the hat again.
yeah, silly hats only, motherfucker.
It was before they were escorting Indy into the plane. The Nazis were at the very end, and at one point, for whatever fucking reason, the hat is on the ground, and the Nazis stop, pick up the hat, and put it on his head. I'm like, why the fuck would they do that?
Because they respect
all his powers.
the hat.
What?
They gotta have a cover. They respect the hat.
No.
It's not that they respect Indy. They could care less. Actually, no. I guess they do a little bit because they drug his ass on the plane when they should have shot him dead.
They should have just killed him. They should have just left him there to die.
I assume that maybe Mads had enough sense to be like, maybe this guy can, if we hit a snafu, he can know the solution. That's my assumption as to why they brought him along.
But they could have given us one line of dialogue to let us know that.
Agreed.
They let the girl go, too, a bunch of times. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm not saying this situation will ever happen, but if I am at sea and someone comes up and they blow up the vessel their vessel and steal mine and leave me on the blown up one, the next time I see them, I'm shooting them.
It's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah.
It's reasonable.
Yeah,
Very reasonable.
I think so. Like I could see where he was like trying to reason with her before that. But after the stick of dynamite thing, it's like, no.
Yeah, after the stick of dynamite, I'm sorry, bitch getting shot.
Especially when you have a henchman where that seems to be his only fucking, like...
Yeah.
That's the class he chose. He's
right.
the shoot him with the gun guy.
Shoot him with the gun guy.
That's literally his solution to everything.
Yeah,
he has no other recourse.
Like, when the motherfucker shot the lady at the beginning, I was like, really?
Yeah.
He's just very trigger happy.
He was very trigger happy. Did he also kill the person who came up after he shot the lady?
Yep.
He killed both of them, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we kind of glossed over the one black actress that was thought
I have no idea what agency she was with.
She said CIA.
Oh, I thought he said CIA.
Well,
Yeah, I
he
thought
said
so.
that, but she didn't deny it, and I kind of think that
it was implied.
It was implied.
I will say her hair was on point the whole movie,
Oh, yeah.
the whole time she was on screen,
Hell yeah.
and her outfits were top notch.
I wanted to know more about her character. I liked her character.
I agree. And then she got shot.
Yeah.
And that's when the dude told her his actual name, but I don't remember what it was.
It was John Jacob.
Jingleheimer's?
Yeah. And
Wow,
you
his name
believe
is
this.
my name too.
Holy shit.
What? Shit.
What happens when you go out?
Well, you know what would happen. Like whenever we go out.
Did the people always shout?
Yeah. Yeah. How'd you know that? Spoilers.
God.
It is late. I will also say too that the black guy at the beginning of the movie, the room service guy, that guy is lucky as fuck because like that was a room full of Nazis with guns.
Right. I was like, oh, this is uncomfortable.
I was like, they're gonna kill this guy.
Right.
Like, the guy comes in there and he's like, yeah, I'm from Alabama, and I was like, well, it still makes sense.
You know, they let him touch the papers.
I know.
I was expecting some shit to go down when he started moving the papers.
Yeah.
But nothing happened, and I was like, okay.
I was morbidly curious to see like what is like Nazi racism compared to just good old fashioned American racism. Like I got to see this, and it was.
We didn't have to see it, buddy. Like are you okay?
What?
And maybe like with Mads being with his villain being like what he is, maybe like that's the story they're trying to tell is it's like these Nazis are just bitches, like all of them.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, this worked out way better than I thought it was gonna.
Because when it came down to it, like his character was woefully unprepared for the shit that actually happened, and I did like how he went out. Like I did like how the plane crashed and like they just all fucking died, and it wasn't this whole he comes fucking Terminator crawling out of the fucking wreckage with like half his face burned off, Gustavo Fring his way through ancient fucking Greece.
And then here comes dude like, ooh, I got this watch now.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're being honest, like those ancient people, they still have a lot of shit they shouldn't. You know, like the plane wreckage is still there.
Like,
Yeah. That's true. I don't know that they're gonna be able to reverse engineer any of that shit.
Hey man, listen.
You don't know.
The aliens probably didn't think that we would create nukes, and they're like, "Oh shit."
Well, they still left their crystal skull behind.
Oh,
Fuck. On that note, I think closing thoughts, and then we can GTFO.
Yeah. Again, this movie is much better than a lot of reviews online are saying. But with that being said, I personally wouldn't get your hopes up too much in terms of what to expect. I think it's a very safe movie, and it's by the numbers, and it just it didn't hit on all cylinders for me. I think they had the opportunity to really tell one last cool story with Indy, and instead we get what we got, which is something that's just it's mediocre. It's fine.
I enjoyed it for the most part. Like, I didn't feel like I wasted my time. However, I'll probably never watch it again.
Aw, that's sad.
I mean,
It's got the first three.
Yeah. I really liked
my
it.
point exactly.
I will say that in no circumstances will chewing gum fix an engine.
Oh yeah, that was the hard eye roll for me.
Oh, no.
I forgot about that shit.
Yeah. However, I liked it. It was very nostalgic, and I will probably watch it again, and therefore he will be forced to because it will be on the living room screen.
That's a fair point.
You should watch Howard the Duck sometime again.
No!
I
I will burn the fucking TV.
Background noise.
I will burn the fucking TV.
No,
make
you
sure
don't.
I'm
Yes,
there.
I will.
No, that will take too much effort.
Make sure I'm there because I've actually never seen it. So, yeah.
Well, I'm not.
Oh well, if I had known that, it would have been a party.
Oh no, I think you did want me to be there, and I was like, no.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah. But if it's gonna be on, I mean,
I'm just gonna put it on, and then I'm gonna call Ace and be like,
Don't you do it.
"It has begun."
I'll find the movie and loop it and make like a 10-hour version, and I'll just put it on the Plex. It can be background noise.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
I'm leaving.
I definitely think that most of the reviews online are. I agree with you, Ace. Like, they're being way too critical of this movie. Am I looking at it through the lens of I want it to be anything other than Crystal Skull? Yes. But I still think that it is as good as Temple of Doom, if not better. It definitely is a much more politically correct movie than Temple of Doom, but a lot of that has to do with the era that it was made in. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I wouldn't put it up there with Raiders. I wouldn't put it up there with Last Crusade by any means, but those movies are fucking amazing. So yeah, that's it for me. I really enjoyed this. I went into it with no expectations that were positive, and I was waiting on it to like just completely dovetail and become awful, and that never happened. And that's a rare instance these days when I go to the movie theater. So yeah, the cave thing was cool. Like people don't do that in caves anyway. Since we are in your studio, should we do the homies ending?
Yeah, I think that'd be very much appropriate.
Well, in that case, I'm superhero homie Caleb.
And my name is Superhero Homie Q.
I'm superhero homie Oz.
Superhero homie Kaye.
Hell yeah.
And now
yeah.
you're officially one of us.
It's official.
And
You made it
Brendan's
before
still-
Brendan.
Yeah.
And Brendan is still not a homie.
Brendan is still not a homie.
Sorry, Brendan.
At this point, it's by his own choice.
Really?
Yeah.
Brendan.
If he beats me in homie trivia, he can get the title.
He had the option on the latest episode. We covered the classic 1997 movie Steel. And he had the opportunity, but he failed the homie trivia question. So, yeah. Be sure to rub that in next time you see him.
I will. And Hollywood, until you pay your writers, we're going to just keep reviewing all of your worst mistakes.
Yes. Well, that's all for now. You got anything else for wrap up?
That's it.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys on the flip side.